Welcome, everybody. Today we're talking to newly ordained deacon David O'Connor and his wife Judy. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
My pleasure.
Let me start off, David, with can you tell us about your call to the diaconate? Can you summarize that?
So this often disappoints people. I didn't have a big booming voice saying, David, be a deacon. I didn't wake up screaming in the middle of the night, I have to be a deacon. It really was Deacon Emilio, one day after Mass, approached me and said to me, have you ever thought about becoming a deacon? And my answer was no. Even one of my best friends in Ohio had become a deacon probably at 37, 38, and not for a nanosecond had it crossed my mind I should become a deacon. It really was that question, and it's kind of like in RCIA, we always say, most people, when we ask them why they came to RCIA, they say, because somebody asked me. It really was that he asked me. And he asked me to discern about it for a while, and so he would talk to me probably over a period of 6 months that I discerned about it, and at the end I thought, yeah, I felt that this is what I was, where God was leading me.
So, and then what a good mentor, Deacon
Yes.
Emilio. I mean,
He's fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This next question can be maybe for both of you. There's 4 years of formation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Was in the course of those 4 years, was there anything that surprised you, or was transformative for you, or I can anticipate your answer. Well, no, there isn't anything, ta-da! But do you know what I mean?
Yes. Do you want to go first?
I think what surprised us a little bit is how quickly the other people in our cohort became family, and how we all went through so many life changes. David and I, he lost his mother, I lost my father and my mother during this formation, and those people, their support, and sometimes I was far away, and the support of this community really, I think we felt was kind of helping us along the way and showing us the importance. And
there were 8 couples. 8.
There originally was
there was
17, and 10 candidates were ordained.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And there was 14 couples and 3 single
right.
men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole formation thing was a plan by God. Sounds like.
Yes,
Yes,
it feels
it
like
felt like it.
Yeah.
And like you said, the ta-da moment. It's just along the way you would have this weird affirmations would come in from places that you didn't expect, right? And Father Paul actually said to me, you're going to have, if it's the right thing, you'll be affirmed along the way. And I didn't believe that either. But it really was that people would come up and say things to me or write me. And I often told people that we felt prayers. People would say, we're praying for you. And I could feel that. And that surprised me in a way that
Yeah.
just the support and love that was poured out from our cohort and from the community.
Yeah, and people we didn't necessarily know at first in this community came up and knew our story and knew what we were going through and were supporting us. So we got to know so many more people in our own community and feel the support.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was.
Over the course of 4.
Over the course of time.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I next want to go to the ordination itself. I was in the cheap seats in the back. But even from there, I was smiling the whole time. And I think that, for me, the Litany of the Saints has always gotten to me. You guys were prostrate
Right.
in front of the altar. But how about you guys? What were some of the big moments for you during the ordination itself?
Is there anything you want to say, Jack?
Well, you can go first.
So, I had been through the ceremony the week before when we had gone through Elko, and 3 deacons were ordained, and I was the MC. So, I knew the process.
Right.
And before ordination, Bishop Muggenberg came back and said to us, don't try and anticipate, just go with the moment, be in the moment. And so that's what I tried to do. When I was lying prostrate, and by the way, I love the Litany of Saints, and they sang the right Litany of Saints. I found myself crying, and I cried all the way through the Litany of Saints.
Oh my.
And it wasn't until it was over that my brain said to me, oh, by the way, the next thing they're going to do is ordain you. And so if you look at the video, you'll probably see I get up and I do this because I cried all the way through it. And I thought, as I knelt before the bishop, I had red eyes. And the bishop said to me, I'm thankful that you're smiling. Right. That was special.
Yeah, well, that was, and I was smiling, while you were, of course, I wasn't being ordained, but I was on your side. I was thinking, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But
So kind of the same thing. The week before, I was sitting with the other wives on the other side of the church and kind of watching. And
this is in Elko.
In Elko.
Okay.
And then thinking, oh, it's beautiful. But when you're up there and you are in there, you can feel the Holy Spirit there. You can feel the support of everybody around you. You can feel the sacred space. And our kids were behind us. And I knew you and so many of our friends from here were with us. It just felt so, we just felt so much love.
Yeah.
And
again, you can physically feel that, which is I know an odd thing to say, but I could physically feel the weight of people, of happiness, of support, right?
So that's kind of like a recurring theme here. Throughout the preparation, and then now particularly during the ordination itself.
Right.
I pray that can continue. I know that. Well, I don't know. I don't know what being a deacon is, but I can imagine it's
it's a humbling experience, is what it is.
Okay.
Okay. But yes, you feel the movement of God, of the Holy Spirit. That ordination mass was just beautiful, and happiness and everything exuding from it.
I felt that was a beautiful liturgy.
So did I.
The mass. One of the things about the mass is it's beautiful, and I mean, it was long.
Right.
But I wasn't ready.
All the best Catholic masses. Easter Vigil.
And the pageantry,
right.
and I think that's what we love about being Catholic.
It is.
And maybe as to close up, looking forward, do either of you have a vision for yourselves with this new ministry or for our community going forward? Any hopes and dreams?
So when I started, I truly thought, and I'm still very interested in doing adult catechesis. And that was the main focus and what I told Bishop Calvo when he asked me what I'd want to do as ministry. During formation, there are 3 different areas you're supposed to focus on. One of them is ministry to people in prison. And I thought, that's the last thing I want to do. And I sat through a confirmation mass with Bishop Calvo, and he was talking about the gospel was released to prisoners to announce a year of favor. And he said, release to prisoners doesn't mean to open the cells and let them wander free. It means to ease their pain. And I walked away from that mass and I said to Judy, I think I have to go to prison ministry. What I discovered was the absolute necessity of prison ministry. And it became a large force in my life. Even during COVID, when we were locked out, I sort of felt the need for prison ministry. And so I guess my focus has shifted a little bit. I'm now doing chaplaincy down for the military base in Pickle Meadows. And,
oh, no kidding.
And prison ministry and jail ministry. I'm still very much interested in adult catechesis because I think most of us understand the rote prayers, the gestures, but we haven't been catechized very well on what the deep tradition and theology of the church is. And even in Eucharistic revival here for the next 2 years, one of the things that we want to focus on is people having a greater understanding of the Mass, just to appreciate, the Mass as Zikaron. In case you don't know what that means, come to one of the lectures.
I don't.
And we'll explain it. Just that idea of I feel I'm called to help people in the field who need Christ brought to them. And one of the things in prison ministry, one time an officer who was escorting me out of the prison said to me, I'm glad you can be Christ to people because I can't be. And I realized that the officers are being affected by the prison system as much as the incarcerated. It's just, people say to me all the time, you love doing this. And I always say, love's the wrong word. I realize the necessity of it. That's where I'm at. I don't know about you.
I'm still doing the same ministries at this point.
And there are too many to list. We wouldn't have enough time. So in other words, Judy, it's kind of like, well, I'm going to continue.
And then support whatever he needs.
Support David.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking a couple things while you were talking, David. One of the beautiful things about Catholicism is it is so deep and so nuanced.
Right.
And I was a catechist.
Right.
Before, and I'm keenly aware.
Welcome back to RCI.
Well, I'm keenly aware. If I can finish my thought, I'm keenly aware of how much, how exciting it is to learn about Catholicism, because there's so much there that you can plummet the depth your whole life. And I guess I'm pretty happy that you're leading that for our community, along with, it sounds like, several other things.
So I will continue to do RCIA and baptism and whatnot.
God bless you for that.
Thank you.
And I think I speak for all our community, anyone who's going to watch this video, that we are will continue to pray for you. Just because you're ordained doesn't mean we're going to stop praying.
Well,
and
good.
I think
Thank you.
it's important for us to do, and what you were talking about earlier, that's part of this whole thing. So anyway, well, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Talking to us. And again, this is newly ordained Deacon David, 2-3 weeks ago now, or
September 10th.
Yeah. And Judy. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.